आत्मवतां वरः सम्प्रति आत्मवतां वरः अस्माल्लोकाद् उपरते मयि ज्ञानं मदाश्रयम् अर्हति उद्धव एवाद्धा सम्प्रति आत्मवतां वरः अस्माल्लोकाद् उपरते मयि ज्ञानं मदाश्रयम् अर्हति उद्धव एवाद्धा सम्प्रति आत्मवतां वरः. Asmat, from this universe, Lokat, earth, Uparate, having disappeared, Mai, of myself, Jnanam, knowledge, Matashrayam, concerning myself, Arhati, deserves, Uddhavaha, Uddhava, Eva, certainly, Adha, directly, Samprati, at the present moment, Atmavatam, of the devotees, Varaha, foremost. Translation and purport by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Now I shall leave the vision of this mundane world, and I see that Uddhava, the foremost of my devotees, is the only one who can be directly entrusted with knowledge about me. Please repeat the translation. Now I shall leave the vision of this mundane world, and I see that Uddhava, the foremost of my devotees, is the only one who can be directly entrusted with knowledge about me. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jnanam Madashrayam is significant in this verse. Transcendental knowledge has three departmental divisions, namely knowledge of impersonal Brahman, knowledge of the all-pervading Supersoul, and knowledge of the personality of Godhead. Out of the three, transcendental knowledge of the personality of Godhead has special significance and is known as Bhagavat Tattva Vijnana. Specific knowledge of the personality of Godhead. The specific knowledge is realized by pure devotees, by pure devotional service, and no other means. Bhagavad Gita confirms this. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavan yasyasmi tattvataha. Only persons engaged in devotional service can factually know the transcendental position of the Lord. Uddhava was considered to be the best amongst all the devotees of that time, and therefore he was directly instructed by the Lord's grace so that people might take advantage of Uddhava's knowledge after the disappearance of the Lord from the vision of the world. This is one of the reasons why Uddhava was advised to go to Badrikashrama, where the Lord is personally represented by the Naranarayana deity. One who is transcendently advanced can gain direct inspiration from the temple deity, and thus a devotee of the Lord always takes shelter of a recognized temple of the Lord in order to make tangible advancement in transcendental knowledge by the grace of the Lord. Doesn't see Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamy Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, continuation about qualification of Uddhava. What was Krishna's intention? Asmal Lokad Uparate. the moment I disappear from this world. Mayi Jnanam, the knowledge about me. Madashrayam, one who has taken my shelter or who can be given this as shelter, who can be entrusted this job with. Arhati, the qualified person. Uddhavaha is directly Uddhava. Evadha, certainly Uddhava is the most qualified person on my behalf. Samprati Atmavatam Varaha, because he is Atmavatam Varaha, he is the foremost of the devotees. And at the present moment, he is among all my devotees, he is the foremost. So this is the best knowledge, and this best knowledge can be entrusted to Uddhava directly. So it says that's why. Now I shall leave the vision of the mundane world. Asmal lokan uparate. And I see that Uddhava, the foremost of my devotees, Atmavatam Varaha. Atmavatam means who are personally connected with the Lord. Atmavatam, whom Lord can say they are mine. Varaha, he is the best. And he is the only one. Arhati Uddhavaha. That Arhata qualification is for Uddhava only. Eva Adda Samprati means who can be directly be entrusted. Eva Adda Samprati Madashrayam, who can be entrusted with knowledge about me. Mayi Jnanam. So in the purport, Prabhupada is explaining, Uddhava is considered to be the best amongst all devotees of that time. So you may compare different devotees, but when the devotees who are all present when Krishna was there, so he is considered to be the best. And therefore he was directly instructed by the Lord's grace, so that people might take advantage of Uddhava's knowledge after the disappearance of the Lord from the vision of the world. So that everybody could get association of the Lord's knowledge through Uddhava. Jnanam Madashrayam indicates the topmost knowledge of personality of Godhead. Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam, about the personality of Godhead. Lord has three phases of understanding: Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan, but the Bhagavan is the highest future. That is called as Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam, the Tattva. This is one of the reasons why Uddhava was advised to go to Badrika Ashrama, where the Lord is personally represented by Narayana deity. And in that way, Uddhava will get an opportunity to associate with the deity, and all the sages who are all waiting there for the Lord's association can take the benefit from Uddhava. The feelings of separation what Uddhava was going through, that can be extinguished in the association of the Lord of Narayana at Badrika Ashrama. And the devotees were also anxious to understand the intricate happenings, how Yadu dynasty vanquished, the disappearance of Lord Krishna. All these technical details can be clarified by Uddhava. Because unless it is clarified, people might think of some other reason or some other extract they may bring out. The Lord wanted it to be a genuine and according to Acharya's opinion, and it is according to situation, not speculate about the subject. So, the importance of accepting the Lord's representative, that is the whole aspect here. Who can represent the Lord and what are his qualifications? And when you approach that representative, how should be our the process of surrender? This is the entire aspect this verse is focusing upon. There are certain places in Bhagavatam that glorifies who is a representative and how one should approach that representative. It says, Ata Atmano Artha Bhuyasya Yato Nartha Parampara Samsmritisya Svavachyedo Bhaktya Paramaya Guru Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Samahitaha Sadrichinnena Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Janayishyati. So, Ata Atmano Artha Bhuyasya. For every living entity, there is one Lord through his representative. So, there is a disease and there is a medicine. The disease is cycle of birth and death. The medicine is surrender to a representative of the Supreme Lord. Tad vyavachedo bhaktya paramaya guru. By devotional service, engage in the service of Guru. Next. Unless one render fully engaged, not partial commitment. completely absorbed into the service, then sadrichinnena vairagyam, very soon he will be able to generate detachment from this world. And jnanam cha janayishyati, and it will generate knowledge about the Lord. So when you associate with the devotees, when you engage in their service, two things happen to us. We have developed detachment from this material world, and we develop knowledge about the Supreme Lord when you engage in bhakti. So bhakti is the primary process, jnana vairagya are the accompanying side benefits. And further it says, savai priyatamascha atma yato na bhayam anu api iti veda savai vidvan yo vidvan sa guru harihi. It says, yato na bhayam anu api, he will not have a least a bit of fear also in this material world. Because savai priyatama cha atma, the Lord, the super soul is priyatamaha, he is the most well-wisher and friend of all living entities. Priyatamaha, atma priyatamaha, he is the well-wisher friend of all the living entities. So, iti veda savai vidvan, one who knows his secret. Iti veda, one who knows his secret, is well educated. Because vidvan, he becomes a learned man. And he becomes qualified to become the spiritual master of the world, one who knows this. Yo vidvan sa guru harihi, that person who is that vidvan is qualified to become the spiritual master, the representative of the Lord, is non-different from Krishna. Yo vidvan sa guru harihi, that guru is equivalent to Hari. This is the same philosophy what we sing in Mangalarti. Sakshat Daritvena Samasta Shastra. The same point is explained in this Bhagavatam here. So he is Sakshat Hari, and he is equipped with all the knowledge of all the Shastras. So similarly, Krishna also explains about the same topic to Uddhava in 11th canto. Now, who is a spiritual master? What are his qualifications? And how devotee has to render service to him. He says, Acharya mam vijaniyan. You should consider Acharya mam as my representative, not different from me. Na avamanyeta karhichit. At any time, you should not, avamanyeta means you criticize him or disrespect him in any way. Na martya buddhya asuyeta. You should not treat him like a human body. Na martya buddhya. We should not see him in material qualifications. Asuyeta, with enviousness. Sarvadeva mayo guruhu. He is the representative of all the demigods. Sarvadeva mayo guruhu. This is that spiritual master. Then, if you know, then what you should do? Sayam pratar upaniya. Morning and evening, you should collect all the foodstuffs and upaniya, bhaikshyam, the food for offerings. Morning and evening you should collect and you should offer to the spiritual master. Tasmai nivedayet. You should engage for the service of the spiritual master. Yaccha anyad api anujnatam. Unless you get that anujnatam, permission, you should not act for anything else independently. Upayunjuta samyutaha. So whatever, you should be self-controlled, samyutaha, and upayunjuta, whatever is allocated for you, only that much you should accept. So quota, if Guru forgets to invite you, that day it is fasting. The brahmacharis moved in a staner. Yana means when the Guru is walking, the servant should humbly walk behind. And when Guru lies down, the servant should also lie down nearby. Shaya. When the Guru is seated there, he should engage in similar services, asana. Sthanaihi. When the Guru is sitting down on his asana, the servant should stand nearby with folded hands. Na atidure krutanjalihi, with folded hands. Na atidure. Then, awaiting the Guru's order, the disciple should be always be ready. In this way, one should worship the spiritual master. Sada upasita. Then, evam mruto gurukule vashet bhoga vivarjitaha vidya sampadyate yavad bibrat vratam akanditam. So, evam vrataha, the vow, whatever he has accepted as brahmacharya, Gurukule, he had to stay in Gurukula till that process of finishing his vow. Vashed, he should stay Bhoga Vivarjitaha, completely free from sense gratification. He should not think anything for personal sense enjoyment. Vidya Sampadyate Yavad. Till what time? Till he is completely engaged, completed his Vedic education. How long he has to stay in the ashrama? Till he has learned all the Vedic knowledge. Vidya Sampadyate. You earn money, you earn knowledge. Then Bibrat Vratam Akanditam, and he should follow the vow of celibacy. Akanditam vow. So why it is important, celibacy? The sense gratification is restricted and celibacy is encouraged. That is the tapasya. You have to earn something by sacrificing something. So when we practice this celibacy, when we practice these principles of brahmacharya, it will encourage the consciousness to become focused. In that way, you will be able to grasp more information. It will enhance our understanding by regulating the the brain has its food. Like how we give food to the body, there is a food which is required for the brain also. So that is generated from the different sections of the body. So that knowledge which is utilized for that purpose is coming from this body. There are sapta dhatu. There are 7 layers within this body. And the most finest form is called as semen is generated from that. Bone marrow. That's the most finest form in our body. That's why nowadays they are trying to do that bone marrow transplantation or something, if some diseases are there. Something is there like that? Bone marrow transplantation or something like that. They wanted to recover the body from the basics. So bone marrow produces an energy. When you use it for sense gratification, it becomes to the form of semen and exits out of the body. Or when you are able to regulate that, it becomes food for the brain. They are called as there is one word in Bhagavatam which says Urdhvaretasaha. So their semen flows upwards. See, when it is done, it is generated, it has to be consumed. Either it has to go up or it has to go out. So by engaging in brahmacharya and by practicing the spiritual principles, that becomes the food for the brain and it enhances our spiritual understanding more and more. It encourages us to come closer towards spirituality. The spiritual cells, finer tissues of memory will be better generated, better enhanced. So further it says, in one more place, now once you are surrendered, how the mood of the disciple should be when he approaches the spiritual master. Sarvam etakcha Bhagavan pricyato me anupurvashaha tatvato arhasi udahartum prapannaya mahamune. He says, O Mahamune, O great sage, you are the representative of the Lord Bhagavan. Pratyataha me, kindly satisfy my inquisitiveness. So, sarvam etakcha arhasi. If you think I am qualified of all the questions, whatever I have asked, are things which I might not have asked you. So, please explain to me about all that subject which you think I am qualified enough to understand. Anupurvashaha, from the very beginning, because when the discussion happens, we may start with one question and in between we may get diverted away. So, please explain to me everything from the beginning. Prapannaya, since I am a soul surrendered unto you, Tatvataha Udahrutam, please explain that full knowledge in this connection. So this is a question put forward by, this is a request put forward by Parikshit Maharaj to Shukdev Goswami. He had asked some 30-40 questions. So he is saying, please systematically explain to me so that all that knowledge, what I wanted to know, if you think I am qualified enough, please extend to me that knowledge. Tattvataha, that knowledge about the Lord. Because all these things can be clarified only in the association of a representative of the Lord. That's why he is also addressed as Bhagavan. And Krishna himself says, that the spiritual master is non-different from me? In what way he is non-different from the Lord? Because he is a person who has understood maximum about the Lord. And he is a person who is representing the Lord in this material world. Like the king is called as Naradevata. He is the representative of the Lord for administration purpose. And the spiritual master is representative of the Lord for knowledge purpose, for practical purpose. So, when they are doing their specific duty, we should be we should be able to practically gain their association and benefit ourselves. So, the spiritual master is always prepared to impart knowledge to the disciple, specifically when the disciple is inquisitive. Jai Shri Shri Radha Govinda Ki. So, the principle, when will we receive this knowledge, is when we are inquisitive. That is how the Brahma Sutra starts, Atato Brahma Jijnasa. So, when you are inquisitive to understand about this supreme, that is where our qualification starts to gain that knowledge. Unless we are inquisitive, that knowledge we may receive, but we will not hold it. It becomes dissipated. So, once we are inquisitive, that inquisitiveness will drive us to get more. Like if you are already satisfied, stomach is full, and there is a big plate of Mahaprasadam, will we feel any interest? We may touch 1 or 2 pieces here and there and just, thank you. But you are hungry, and your hunger is like an ocean, which will never deplete. So, you would like to eat more. Like how Krishna, in the form when he had accepted during Govardhana, the entire villages have brought so many items. Krishna ate everything and still he is saying, I am still hungry. He is saying, aur leke aao. It is called as Aniora. When you do Govardhan Parikrama, there will be village called as Aniora. Means Krishna is saying, please bring more. And whatever he eats is of, he'll be able to digest everything also. So in that way, so our knowledge, our jijnasa towards this knowledge should be more. But only thing is, we should be conscious that we don't become proud in the process. Because pride will destroy our knowledge. The purpose of knowledge will be lost. It will take us away from the subject. So similarly, when in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's period, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to preach, he was personally in Puri, but he wanted to preach in other places also. So sometimes he was exhibiting his tendencies through other devotees. So there was one devotee by name Nakula Brahmachari, he is also known as Narasimha Brahmachari. So through him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to appear in his body, and he used to preach to the people of that particular part of province. So there is one pastime between Shivananda Sena and Nakula Brahmachari, so which will explain to us how, when you are a representative of the Lord, how a devotee should approach, and how a devotee, when the representative of the Lord knows about the intention of the devotee, how he will handle the situation. Gauda Deshera Loka Nistarite Monohoila. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had decided, let me deliver the people of Bengal. Nakula Hridaya Prabhu always sounds like a cloud, thunderbolt. Taiche Gaurakanti, Taiche Sada Prema Vesha, Taha Deki Bare Aishe Sarva Gauda Desha. So because of that lust of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaurakanti, Sada Prema Vesha, always in the ecstasy, the entire Bengal came there to have his darshan. Yara Deka Taraka He, Kaha Krishna Nama. So whomever came, he was saying, all of you chant the holy name of Krishna. Tanhara Darshane Lokahaya Premo Dhama. Just by seeing darshan of Nakula Brahmachari, everybody were becoming overwhelmed with love of Godhead. Chaitanya Aveshohaya Nakulera Deghe. So, because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's entering into the body of Nakula, Suni Shivananda Aila Kariya Sandehe. So, he wanted to clarify his doubt whether Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had actually come or somebody is faking like that. Pariksha Karite Tanrayabe Icha Hoila, when he wanted to test about the situation, Bahire Rahiya Tabe Vichara Karila. He was staying outside and he was thinking. Apane bolana mora iha yedi jani. So without me informing, if he gets to know, Amara Ishta mantra jani kahena apani. And what is that Ishta mantra, what I chant? If he can say without me saying that, Tabe jani inhate hoya chaitanya avesha. Then I can say he is empowered by Lord Chaitanya. Eta chinti Shivananda rahila duradesha. He was staying in a nearby place. Asankya lokera ghata keha aisha yaya lokera sangata keha darshana napaya. So there were unlimited people who were coming. Who was coming, who was going, nobody is having any idea. So some people in that group could not even have darshan of Nakula Brahmachari. Avesha Brahmachari kahe, Shivananda achiye dure. So in ecstasy, Nakula Brahmachari said, Shivananda has come and he is staying somewhere nearby. Jana duichari yaha bulaha tahare. Few people go and call him here. Charidike dhaya loke Shivananda boli. People started calling Shivananda, Shivananda. They started running in 4 directions. Shivananda kon? Tomaya bhulaya brahmachari. So who is Shivananda? Nakula Brahmachari is asking you, please come inside. Suni Shivananda sena tanha sigra aila. So immediately he came there as soon as he heard. Namaskara kari tanra nikate vashila. So after paying obeisances, he sat down nearby. Brahmachari bole, tumi karila samshaya. So Nakula Brahmachari is saying, you had a doubt about me. Ekamana hana shuna tahara nishchaya. So please hear with evidence and with great attention. Gaura Gopala mantra tomara chari akshara. You are chanting the 4-syllable word of Gaura Gopala mantra. Avishwasa chada ye kariyacha antara. Now please give up your doubts which were thinking about me inside you. Tabe Shivananda mane pratiti hoila. Then revelation came within the mind of Shivananda. Aneka sammana kari bahubhakti kaila. So by giving so many prayers and respects, he started offering him very respect and devotional service. Eimata Mahaprabhura achintya prabhava. This is the inconceivable behavior of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ebashuna Prabhura aiche hoya avirbhava. Now please hear how his appearance takes place. Sachira mandare ara nityananda nartane, Shrivasa kirtane ara raghava bhavane. Ei charitani Prabhura sada avirbhava. Prema akrishta haya Prabhura sahaja swabhava. These 4 places Chaitanya will always be present. Where? Sachira mandire. So every day when Sachi Mata offers food, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to come and accept the prasadam, even though he is in Puri. First place. Ara Nityananda Nartane. Whenever Nityananda Prabhu dances, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come there to dance. Shrivasa Kirtane. Whenever Srivas Pandit does Kirtana in his house, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will always be there. Ara Raghava Bhavane. Or when Raghava Pandita by engages in his devotional service in his house by offerings of various categories, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will always be there. Ye charitani Prabhu sada avirbhava. Lord will always stay at these 4 places. Prema Krishna Haya, feeling very much ecstatic. Prabhura sahaja swabhava. This is his natural characteristic. He gets carried away by their bhakti. And Lord, akrishta means to attract. Lord becomes very much attracted by their devotional service. He comes there and he be taking part in that perspective. So this is how the Lord, when he wants, physical limitation is not there. Lord is in Puri and other devotees are elsewhere. But who can be qualified to see all these things? Only the supremely advanced devotees can pursue. Not everybody can pursue. Like when you go to Mayapur, there will be one place called as Mango Garden. You all know that pastime, no? One day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to, devotees were doing so much kirtan and all, they became fatigued. Lord wanted to remove their fatigue. So he had asked somebody to get a mango seed. And a mango seed was sown and instantly it came into a big tree. Started flowering, started fruits, and that fruits were so special quality, there is no seed inside the mango. And there is no skin. You need not remove the skin, there is no seed, and it is full of pulp and juice. So much nectarian, it's like the amruta. So immediately few devotees cut some fruits, offered it to the Lord, and they started distributing. And everybody ate so many mangoes, still the tree was full with mangoes. Everybody could eat unlimited mangoes. And this is the miracle of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If he wants to bring, he wants to show his opulence, unlimited things. There is no restriction. And it is, if we go today, and that mango tree used to do mangoes round the year. For us only summer season. That to 2 months you will get mango. 1 month it will be ripened, other month will be starting and ending period. But there, round the year they were getting mangoes. Every day they used to do Sankirtan, become exhausted, go and eat mangoes and become refreshed. But today, when we go now, we will see the same mango trees. But our eyes are not qualified enough to perceive the fruits in that tree. We can only perceive the fruits which comes during that season only. Because these are all called as Nitya Leela Sthalas. Lord stays there permanently. Like Vrindavan is a Nitya Leela Sthala. Then who can see that perceivance, who can perceive the Lord? Premanjana Chirita Bhakti Vilochanena, whose eyes are anointed with love of devotional service, only they can pursue this Nitya Leela pastimes. So earlier I had narrated one story, so I thought this is also appropriate in the context. So I am repeating it. So there was one Brahmana by name Rama, who was from South India. A very poor person, hard to maintain himself. Even after begging, he will not get sufficient food. Sometimes for many days he had to go on fasting because he was not getting proper food to maintain his body. So since he is not able to maintain himself, his family had discarded him, nobody had bothered about him. And he became just like a bag of lump of bones and skin. There is nothing inside the body. His stomach always was burning with hunger and he could not tolerate that severity of his poverty. So he thought, how I can get out of this situation? So then he started contemplating, in my past life I would have done so much sinful activities that I am suffering for this situation. And only way to come out of this situation is if Lord gives me mercy. So every day he used to pray to the Lord, please take me out of this situation. I cannot tolerate, I cannot survive for a long time. So at that time he got to know that Lord Jagannatha is the Patita Pavana, the deliverer of the fallen, and Jagannath Puri is called as Annakshetra, where unlimited food is offered to the Lord. So because of too much hunger, he thought, let me go to Lord Jagannatha and let me pray for him, let me remove this situation. So thinking like that, he started walking for Nilachala, but he thought, I will be able to reach Nilachala with this situation, with no food, all these things and all. Can I reach Jagannath Puri? Before that itself, I may quit, I may finish my body. He was praying to Lord Jagannatha, please give me an opportunity to come and have your darshan. At least in one lifetime, this lifetime, let me have your darshan. So in the due course, finally he reached Nilachala and took darshan of Lord Jagannatha. So he was praying to the Lord, I am a poor Brahmana dying of starvation. I have no one but you. Please save me from the misery of poverty and please give me some wealth. So the Brahmana begged for a little food to eat for that day, and next day he again returned to the temple and he again prayed to Lord Jagannatha. Oh Lord, this Brahmana is suffering terribly and is about to die. Please remove my poverty and please give me abundant riches. I beg you to give me the boon of wealth, otherwise I will kill myself right before your eyes. He started in a little pressurizing the situation on Lord. He's almost like threatening the Lord, if you don't give me money, I'll commit suicide. Then he started fasting. Then he had almost fasted for 7 days. And he was becoming more and more weak. In the meantime, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting surrounded by his intimate devotees. They were joyously singing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and the glories of Vrindavana and all the pastimes and all. Suddenly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started feeling something inconvenience in his heart. He became silent. So devotees were wondering why the Lord was abruptly distracted and why he was very silent. So he fasted for 7 days and Lord Jagannatha did not respond. So after becoming weakened after 7 days, the Brahmana decided to commit suicide by drowning in the ocean. So he came near the shore. Then he was praying to the ocean to give him some place to stay in the ocean, means to quit his body. At that particular time, he saw one huge personality emanating out of the water. He was such a huge personality. When he came out of the water and he became like a normal human being, and he started walking towards Jagannatha temple. Then this Brahmana thought, he must be Jagannatha himself, who can come out of that water and immediately transform himself into a normal person. Then he started following behind that person. So that person saw that somebody is following him. After some time, he turned back and asked, "Who are you? Why are you following me?" This man said, "I know you are you should be Jagannatha himself. You have come here to deliver me. So please, without cheating me, give me the true knowledge. Who are you? What are you?" Then that person said, "Why you want details about me? What is your reason? Why are you here?" Then he started explaining he is a poor Brahmana, nobody is to take care, and he was struggling for his maintenance, so he was not even getting proper food, and for past 7 days how he had taken Diksha, that he wants to convince to Jagannatha for money. Like after explaining everything and all, that person became very compassionate towards this Brahmana, and he started revealing, "Actually, I am king of Lanka, Vibhishana. I came here to have darshan of Lord Jagannatha." So then he said, okay, please, if you are going to have Jagannatha darshan, please take me also and request on my behalf to Lord Jagannatha to give me some wealth. So this Brahmana also was taken, and they went outside towards darshan. So Lord asked some of the devotees, Govinda, to go and they were in the Tota Gopinath temple. The Lord asked Govinda, please go and check outside whether somebody is waiting for me or what. Then Govinda went and said, there were 2 Brahmanas waiting for you outside. So the Lord asked Govinda to bring them inside. Govinda went outside and respectfully brought both the Brahmanas. One Brahmana came and sat near Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the other Brahmana, who was this weakened person, he sat in a far by distance. So when this person came closer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touched him, he paid obeisances, and both of them became ecstatic, and both of them were crying. And after that, there was some discussion between both of them. So that Brahmana was explaining about this nature of this poor Brahmana, and he was explaining how the situation was, all these things and all. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "It is long time you have come here. How are you? All these Kushala Mangal Prashna were over." So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Okay, so since Lord Jagannatha, he was torturing Lord Jagannatha for past 7 days. So now, by the will of the Lord, you have come here. You take him to your place and give him whatever you want. Whatever he wants, that much wealth you give him." So after discussions were over, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hugged him again, and this Brahmana started walking outside, and the other old Brahmana started following him. Then when he came outside, he said, "Who is that person? You said you came here to have darshan of Lord Jagannatha, but where are you going away without having darshan? You are not gone to the temple only." Then Vibhishana said, "The person whom we have come to meet is Lord Jagannatha in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His personality is there. So I have met him and I have communicated to him about your problem, and he had sanctioned you unlimited wealth." So then that Brahmana became very sorry. He said, "Please forgive me. I could not recognize it was Lord Jagannatha in the form of a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Please take me once again back. I could not properly have darshan." Then both the Brahmanas again came back. Then all the people who are all associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were wondering, who is this Brahmana? We have never seen him in our life. And what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discuss with him? What is this confidential talk? All these things and all. They were all in confusion. Who is this person? First time we are seeing. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very affectionately talking to him. In the meantime, both the Brahmanas came back, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, "Why did you both of you come back?" So then asked this Brahmana only why he wanted to come back. Then that Brahmana came and fell at the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet, and he started saying, "I was looking for wealth, but I have found you. I don't want wealth. Please bless me that I will obtain that love of Godhead and go back home, back to Godhead." And like he was asking, what is beneficial for me? You bless with me. I don't want this money, all these things and all. Please give me that highest wealth which can never be taken away, or which I will never be able to lose from my life. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu blessed him and touched him. Then that person became ecstatic in love of Godhead. Then the both persons went away outside. Then all the other devotees, represented by Paramananda Puri, he came and asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "Who is that person? What actually transpired? What is going on here?" All the other devotees were also very inquisitive, but we can't understand, but we are not dare enough to come and ask, so I had put forward this question on behalf of all the devotees. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the first Brahmana who came and sat near me was Vibhishana. So he came here to have my darshan. So other person who sat here was that one Brahmana who came from South India, who was struggling for maintenance. So he was pestering Jagannatha for money. But here I told Vibhishana to sanction him whatever money he wants. Now he will take him to his place and give him unlimited money. But when he heard that he had darshan of Lord Jagannatha, he came here and he said, I don't want money, but I want your bhakti. See, in that way, so Lord gave what is required to survive in this life, that is money. What is required for the next life, that is love of Godhead. Both things were blessed in the association of devotees of the Lord. So this is the importance of associating with the devotees. By through Vibhishana, that Brahmana got the unlimited wealth of both for this life and for the next life, of going back home, back to Godhead. Materially he became benefited, and spiritually he got that benefit. So similarly, Lord has sent us Prabhupada, through whose association we will be able to get materially be happy by eating 3 times prasadam, by chanting, by reading, hearing philosophy, and spiritually when we become perfect, we will go back home, back to God. So I'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की, ताई गौर प्रेमानंद.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణ వాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 913310